All right, guys, want to welcome you to episode number 1202. Topic title for today is Plan for Blessings. I tell people all the time, I actually plan for blessings. And some people are like, well, that sounds a little bit unhumbled. I'm going to talk about that today so that you guys can understand that's what you need to do in order to take things really to another level in your life. So I'm excited for today's subject on planning for blessings. And I thought to myself, if you want to become better, if you want to multiply and become more, it's super important that you actually put the right actions along with your faith or the things that you're saying about yourself, because it says that faith without works is dead, right? Like, it's not enough just to believe. Like, we talk all the time about raising our belief, right? And I think that's super important, but guess what? It's not enough just to believe. Like, you actually have to put those actions behind the faith. Like, we have to take it one step further. We have to start expecting great things. All right. I remember actually reading yesterday, say the things are not as though they already were. So you have to start expecting great things to happen. We need to talk as if what we are praying about is actually going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just prayer, but that it's actually going to happen. See, we're not wishing that we have the faith that it's going to happen. And so let's just take a simple example. Like, if you take a couple who's expecting a baby, what do? They start to make all sorts of preparations because they know that a child is on its way. And the fact is, in the early stages of pregnancy, they haven't actually seen the baby. They haven't touched the baby, yet they have faith in the doctor's report. They have faith because they've seen a lot of babies. So they start making preparations. They get the bedroom together. They get the crib. They get the changing table. And I would know this because I got 6 children, right? So I know all the stuff that we had to prepare. This is the stuff that people do, but here's the key. We have to go beyond just believing true faith, put actions behind it. If you're sick, you got to start making plans to get well. If you're struggling in your finances, you've got to start making plans to prosper. If your marriage is on the rocks, you got to make plans to see that relationship can be healed and restored. You see, sometimes we're saying and believing for good things, but our actions are doing just the opposite. So your faith is going to work in either direction, positively or negatively. And I know some people, they plan to get the flu. They plan to eventually get let go from work. And not surprisingly, a few weeks later, what happens? They come down with a flu or they get let go. And here's the crazy thing. Their faith worked. They expected the flu and they got it. They expected to get let go and they got let go. You know what I'm saying? Like, their plans are planning for the wrong thing. See, for me, I'm 42 and I tell myself all the time, I feel like I'm 25. And I tell myself that age is just one of those things that's in my mind. And I realize that things can change, right? But the reality is, I keep telling myself I'm 25 years old. And guess what? People tell me all the time, man, you don't look like that you're 42. So not only was it faith, but it was the actions behind the faith. It was what I was saying, but also what I was doing. So you got to make plans to be healthy. You've got to make plans to be happy and full of joy and full of peace. You've got to be making plans to be productive right up until the day that you are called home. I remember that there was a story, and there was a guy who was about 80 years old. He had all sorts of medical problems. And here's what he said. And I thought that this was really interesting. He said, God, give me another mountain now. Now, like, you would think, like, why would he want another mountain in his life, another trial, another tribulation? Really what he was saying was, give me something else to do. Give me another assignment. And so if you notice, he was planning on living a victorious life. Like, you could say, I can't hardly see anymore. Medicare is not going to pay for the latest prescription. I'm so aggravated. I'm so angry at life. Look, you're never too old to do something great. You are not just taking up space waiting to get to heaven. Like, I'm making plans right now in my life. I'm making plans to live a long, healthy, prosperous, joy-filled, abundant life. I'm saying that you can do it too. It's simply a decision that you have to make. You can't say, well, Brandon, that's because that you got Jamie. You got this wonderful family. You have a big house. You have vacations and so forth. Here's the reality. How do you think that I got to this point? How do you think that I was able to get Jamie into my life? I had to practice these exact things that I'm telling you to do, to expect good things over your life, to expect good blessings to come your way. And what I realized that for some of us, we can't just pray those things away, but we can decide what we're going to plan for. And that's the difference. Like, we can plan to get old and lose our health, or we can plan to live a long, healthy, blessed, and prosperous life. That is something that we can control. We can't always control the results, but we can control the actions that go behind the results. And so the question is this: what are you planning for today? Are you planning for sickness? Are you planning for good health? Are you planning to hit chairman? Are you planning to hit 6 figures in your trading account? Or are you planning to barely get by? Are you planning to get blessed? Are you planning to stay where you are, or are you planning to accomplish your goals? See, the thing is this, and this is what I believe. I believe that we are the ones who limit God, because in my opinion, his resources are unlimited, yet we limit them by our lack of belief and action. So if you will believe for more, regardless of your circumstances, those things will be provided to you. Maybe for some of you, you might be preparing to fail. You might be preparing to barely get by. You might be preparing to lose your health. And I'm going to tell you this today: start preparing for good things over your life. Start preparing for success. Start preparing for abundance. Start preparing for victory. Prepare for a long life. Start preparing for good health. Get your faith going in the right direction. Like, start making plans to live a blessed, prosperous, healthy, joy-filled, abundant, long life. Like, you understand me? Like, do you really understand me? Like, if you do, put a name, amen, inside the chat box, because this is something that can totally come to fruition for you and your life. And I felt impressed to share these things with you today. So guys, I hope that you like this message. This is Brandon Boyd signing off, and we will see each and every one of you on the other side of success. Have a great day, everyone. We'll talk soon.